Hi again, Attorney Steve Vonner in the business and real estate lawyer, licensed practice law in California and Arizona. This episode is business software audits. Business software audits. Specifically, let's go to the Attorney Steve business and real estate whiteboard. We are talking the audits. BSA. What does BSA stand for? The Business Software Alliance. The Business Software Alliance, okay? This is a group of companies that have got together and formed an alliance to basically protect their intellectual property, their software in this case. And you have companies like Dell, Microsoft, Apple, Autodesk, Symantec. You have all these technology companies, these big software providers, Adobe, and others, Bentley Software. So you have all these different companies that got together, and what they're doing is when you download software, you're basically saying, in many cases, not all cases, in many cases you're agreeing by clicking the I agree, what we call the I agree button, which is like click wrap. You're agreeing to basically whatever's in that license. Remember, because you're not really buying software, you're sort of licensing software, okay? That's what happens. Just like domain names, you think you buy a domain name. I bought a domain name. I own domains. You're essentially, you own certain rights, but essentially you're leasing the name, okay? So basically you have these software licenses which buried in the fine print may have a clause that says the software company has a right to audit you. So here's the Business Software Alliance here. Here's the law firm they'll hire to send you what we call the love letter. They send you the letter, and they want you to go through all your computers. These are your computers that I'm drawing here. They want you to go through your computers and your laptops and devices and whatnot. They want you to inventory the software that you have and put together the purchase sales receipts. They want to see when you paid it. They want to see that it was paid by your company. They want to see those receipts so that they can verify that you're paying for the right amount of copies, that you're not pirating their software, that you're paying for everything that you're using, okay? And so in some companies you have, maybe some disks that have been passed around. You say, oh, here, go install that down there, go put that over there. Maybe you have some employees that work in a certain department download software, and then the owner or the CFO doesn't know about it, CTO. But you have software, and these companies, one of these companies may come to you and say, I need you to audit your software. So the real question becomes, well, what do you do then? Do you just shred up the legal demand letter, the love letter? Do you just shred it up and say, I hope they go away? I don't recommend that. I don't think they will go away. They might, they may not. Who knows? But, you have to realize that a lot of these audits are being generated by, sort of this tipster network that they're doing, these advertisements that sort of ask employees or disgruntled employees, ex-employees, to, if you knew a company that was pirating software or using it illegally, you could be entitled to damages. You could be entitled up to $200,000. Those are some of the ads that have been out there. So you have to realize there are some people that would turn in a company and say, yeah, they fired me, and you know what, I know for a fact that they didn't pay for their licenses and this, that, and the other. So you could have a complaint registered over here. You could have somebody trying to seek a reward, to be sort of a whistleblower, if you will. So these are the kinds of things that you have to be aware about as a company. Whether you're a technology company, any type of company that uses software, developers, web developers, IT companies, those kinds of things, real estate companies also. We have a lot of real estate clients, but they use software too, mortgage brokers using software licenses, the point software, whatever. So you have to be aware that this is an issue of intellectual property. This is an issue of these companies believing that there is unauthorized and unpaid for uses of their software, which are tantamount to a copyright violation. So you'll see references to the U.S. copyright law being violated, and you could be threatened with damages, attorney fees, and basically a federal lawsuit because you have a copy of a program that's not registered or licensed or you didn't pay for. So it's critical as a company to be keeping these receipts, keep them in a folder. I would keep them in a locked area. I heard a story about somebody that had access to the receipts and records, and I don't know if they saw one of these ads to whistleblow or whatever, but they took the sheets and the employer could not prove any compliance. It could not provide any documents for an inventory, a self-inventory, and so then you had a problem. You have a potential problem here. So if you have an informant over here that's willing to say and testify under oath and give a declaration, I worked for that company, they routinely used copyright or downloaded it from a legal site, didn't pay for it, I will testify under a court of law because they're trying to get a little bonus money here. You have a problem. You could see a federal lawsuit on that basis alone. I mean, all an attorney has to have is good faith to file a lawsuit against you, good faith that the law has been violated. And here you're dealing with software, which is, you know, let's be honest, these types of companies of these size and magnitude, I'm pretty sure they're registering their copyrights. I'm pretty sure they have copyright protection, and that would pave the door for them to go file a federal copyright lawsuit. So you have to take this issue very serious. If you get a letter from somebody or somebody representing the BSA and you have an audit, give us a call. Let's take a look. Let's discuss your operation. It's critical to get in and try to keep everything confidential and try to work out the best arrangement possible. And before you're thinking about shredding up a demand letter for an audit, give us a call. You can find me at attorneysteve.net. That's attorneysteve.net. Or give us a call, 877-276-5084. Or click here to subscribe so you get continued information from our business and real estate law firm. And other than that, we look forward to helping you and try to work through this problem that can be very, very important and at times critical to your continued operation. Okay? Attorney Steve Vonder, business and real estate lawyer. Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate it. We'll see you again.